Hi and welcome to Dogside channel. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. I'd like for you to stick around. Alright, so wherever you are, I'm hoping you're having a great day. But in case you're not, just remember you could turn that around. It's up to you anyway. So in this video, I'm talking about the popular blue app. Not Facebook, of course. Pixellab. Pixellab is an app that's been designed for smartphones for the purpose of graphic design. I mean, that's majorly the purpose, because it's probably going to have other uses or applications, but majorly it's being used for the purpose of graphic design. So if you're an aspiring graphic designer and you can't afford the PC, the computer, what have you, you can always get Pixellab and start your journey from there. And with time, you definitely get to where you want to be as a graphic designer. Alright, so in this video we're talking about the basics and fundamentals of the app, kind of introducing you to the app and how it works. In case you're frightened or confused, you can just watch this video to the end and things will make sense eventually. Alright, so let's get straight to it. Alright, so I want to believe you already have the app installed, and if you do, well, go ahead and launch the app. This should be the default look on your screen. Alright, so when you launch the app, you should see this interface, right? Okay, and what you observe is you have some options at the top and some options at the bottom, then this free space in the middle, and the free space in the middle will be your workspace. All right, that's where your objects will go, your text, whatever you'll be working on inserting will happen in this workspace. Now the top options kind of regulate the activities or the process of your designing. Like you have the redo option, the save option, the share option, you have the grid, you have the layers, delete and insert as well. And then your bottom options are basically where you get the elements or objects you may be making use of during the design process, like your text, your background, your images, inserting shapes, inserting pictures and all that. Alright, so for starters, we'll be looking at the first app, the first icon on the bottom, at the bottom section of the screen. You can see these three overlapping circles. Now, this option kind of gives you a couple of templates in case you just want to start working on something. You could just use one of the presets and start from somewhere. You can make some adjustments and stuff like that. But let's be working with the default. That's all about the first option. The next will be this letter A icon. You should guess it's basically just for adding text on your design or what have you. If you want to add a new text, you could just double tap this or just tap this box and then input your text. Let's say happy day. Okay, happy day. Hope you're having a happy day. I don't know, I'm not really having a happy day, but regardless, happy day. Okay, now I want you to notice this. When you click outside that box, the options below disappear, and when you click on the box or tap on the box again, they appear back, meaning whenever a text is selected or highlighted, it produces options for you to make adjustments on that particular text, like the color, the size, the font, and some other options. And when you click outside, it gives you the option of adding or inputting a new text. Alright, so now let's work on this happy day. Let's change the color. Let's look for a bright color like yellow. Alright, yellow. And now I would like to also change the font right here. Change font. Now the app comes with already installed fonts, so you could just select from any of the options. But if you can, and if you do, you say you have a font pack or something somewhere on your storage, you can always import it. But I'll talk about importation later. Let's just work on the installed font. So let's go with something bold, like let's work with this. Okay, happy day. Nice. All right, so now we've started the color. We've added the color. I've also changed the font style. What else can we do here? Let's see. You can also use a texture. Like rather than using the color, you can use a texture. Meaning, let me just show you what a texture is. When you choose to add a texture, you just locate any image on your storage and apply something like this, just a random texture, so as not to waste time. And you can see how that works. It just kind of takes the place of a color. But we won't be making use of that in this video. Let's just make use of our color. Now, I want to show you something, an important part. You have the stroke, the shadow, the inner shadow, the emboss. Now, the stroke adds an outline on the text. The outline may also have its own color. Now, I would advise you stay away from this stroke for the meantime, because basically most people just rush and try to make use of everything in the app, and it's become so, I don't know, overwhelming, because you're trying to make a design, say a flyer for instance. You forget to, try to imagine how whatever your design is going to appear. In a case of, maybe wanting a printed format of that work. So by the time you add all your 3D, your emboss and all that, and it's being printed, you can now see how awful that would look. So I advise as a beginner, you stay away from the stroke, the emboss, and also the shadow. You can make use of the shadow, but stay away from the stroke and the emboss. Right? The emboss just kind of adds this shiny feature on the text. The 3D text as well, you should also stay away from this. Stay away from the 3D for now, because it could ruin your design as well. So feel free to explore other options in the text section. All right, now we'll move on to the next. This shape, I think it's an hexagon. I don't really know. Let's just call it an hexagon. Now this handles, say you want to insert a shape or import an image on your design. This shape option, this option right here, this section handles all that. So you have the option for shapes. You see a circle, rectangle, a couple of other shapes. Then you have radius to turn it to make it have curved edges. You also have the option of color. Let's use yellow should work well on white. No, sorry, white is a bright color. Use something dark like this blue. Then you also have the stroke. Depending, the stroke could also have its own color. I won't make use of that. Or let's just make use of it. It's looking good already. Next is also, let's see if there's any other option that might be useful. But there's nothing useful for now. So just understand the shape importation option. Now the arrangement, you could decide to take it to the back, send to back, bring to front. You could copy, you could delete. What else? You could change the size. You also change the color. You should also add a texture. The opacity can be adjusted as well. Okay, that's basically that about that. You can also make it to 3D shape, like your text, but that should be discussed in another class. You also have the shadow and the emboss as well. Stay away from those as well, unless you really know how to use them. You're free to go ahead. Next should be okay. I think that should be that about shapes. We'll move on to the next. This overlapping square icon. This handles the background. Anything concerning your background, the size, the dimension, the color, or the background as a whole, because you might decide to use a picture or image as your background. For instance, the color, let's work with the color. You could choose either a normal color or a gradient. The gradient should look like this. You could choose from the option or click on this plus sign to add your own color. Same thing goes for color, you can always add a new color. Let's work with the gradient. This looks okay. And remember to send to back. Right. And then working on the background as well, you could also change it to a transparent. Transparent background should produce your PNGs. If you don't know what the PNG is, I will discuss that in a future video. For now, let's work with the color. Gradient color. You can also use an image, already installed image like this, and so on and so forth. Or you can import from a gallery. Just locate whatever you want to see also, but work with this. You can make an adjustment. Now, whenever you import an image, the background automatically takes the dimension of that image. The project dimension will change. Right? So before you import an image, either you adjust the background. Let me just show you. Let's go to image size. You have some custom size. You want for your Facebook, Instagram, like your normal profile feed. I know you have one for your YouTube thumbnail, your channel banner, your Twitter. So let's just work with a square. Square is usually what the size you see on your Instagram, like your normal Instagram uploads are normally in square, like the same dimension on both the width and the height. Alright, so you can see how the image change its shape, its dimension and size. Alright, so that is that about backgrounds. The next and last on the bottom is this wand tool. The wand tool just add a little edit to the background, like your vignette, your noise. If you want to add a little noise, you add some texture to the image, something like this. Okay, the brightness and so on. Just feel free to explore for yourself. Alright, now let's move on to the top. The top, like I said, handles the operation, like your layer. The layer should be this last icon at the extreme right. This handles the layer options. Say you want to place an layer above another layer or below, or copy or merge, stuff like that. I won't go into layers, because layers might be a bit complex. Maybe I'll handle that in a future video. You also have your grid. The grid helps in positioning your objects or images or text, for some kind of alignment and balance. So you can work with the grids. I'll talk about that in a future video as well. There's an arrow icon at the left. This is the undo. You can undo all your actions to the very beginning, but you can't redo those actions. So whatever action you undo, you have to do them manually. Alright, then you also have the save icon immediately above the undo. The save gives you either to save as an image or as a project. Saving as a project, you can input your project name to save. Say you want to take a nap or do something else, you can always come back to that project and continue from where you stopped initially. Next, you also have saving as an image. I advise you save. If you can look below, you see this quality option. I advise you save as ultra. Ultra gives the best quality. Alright, that is that about that. You also have the share. You have also I think that's basically all for now. So always feel free to explore and try out new things. I'll be posting more videos in future anyway, so not to worry. Just try to get used to the interface of the app for now. Alright, if by any chance you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up or share to your friends, stuff like that, and don't forget to subscribe, please. Alright, so thank you for watching. I hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day. Thank you.